You ever heard of an A student? I was a Z student. I was the opposite of an A student. If the teacher said in class, everyone's going to pass this test, guys, it's an easy test, I would fail it. In fact, all the kids would turn around and look at me because they knew I would fail it. They would laugh. I was always interrupting the teacher when they were talking, always making jokes, always putting things in the teacher's desk, practical jokes, picking on the other kids. I was a teacher's nightmare. In fact, teachers were probably willing to give up the tenure just not to have me in their classroom. I was called lazy. I was called spoiled. I had a lot of labels on me. Now, when I got home, my friends would want to hang out, go out and play. But I would say, I can't. I got to study for this test, and I don't know how to study, so I'm going to have to learn how to cheat because I was like the master of cheating. I would spend probably twice as long trying to figure out how to cheat on my next test than most kids did studying. My friends would say, why don't you just study? It would take half the time. And I would say, what's the use? See, I have what's called low self-esteem. My father was a very abusive alcoholic who both physically and verbally abused me. It's scary because you don't know how badly you're going to get hurt next time. But the more damage in my case was the verbal abuse because my father told me, since I can remember, what's the use? Don't try. You're a failure. You're stupid. And a lot of other worse things I'm not going to say on this. So I believed it to be true. That's why I never tried. That's what low self-esteem comes from. Now, fortunately for me, eventually the abuse got so bad I ended up in foster care. And once I was in foster care, I also joined some self-help groups. And during that case, I was always good at creative writing. That's the only thing I get myself credit for. So one of the girls in the group saw what I wrote and said, wow, I can never write that. And I get like 90s and 100s. How come you're not doing good in school? And I say, because I'm stupid. She said, you can't be stupid if you're writing things like that. Why do you think you're stupid? And I realized because my father always told me that. I actually learned how to study. I never studied before. Bit by bit, started passing, more passing, then started doing better than passing. Eventually ended up on the honor roll. Eventually ended up in the National Junior Honor Society. I joined some sports to keep myself busy after school, got medals in wrestling, an MVP for the track team. And the best part was they made me student of the month. They hung my picture up as a model student for a month in the halls. You got to understand, that same picture would have been a dartboard in the teacher's faculty room only 2 years prior. So what was different? Same student, just that self-esteem. So again, if anyone's watching this and you're relating to any of this, perhaps again, maybe get some professional help, maybe join some self-help group, a 12-step program, and maybe realize that you're not stupid, like I wasn't stupid. Eventually I became successful in life and business, a published author, and hopefully during these videos and talk shows, I'm trying to help other people out as well. My book Runaway deals with suicide, running away, being a child of an alcoholic, living with child abuse, living in a dysfunctional home, self-esteem, all that in one short book. But Runaway is also a fiction book, so it's entertaining, it's exciting. If you didn't live with any of these problems, you would enjoy Runaway a lot. But if you relate to any of these other problems, you're going to love Runaway, and it might make you realize you're not the only one who has these problems and give you an idea of how to get help. So if you have these problems or you want to help someone else that has these problems in a very non-aggressive way, you can go onto my website, powerpublishingcorp.com.